Operation status quo. Operation status quo. Prepare to engage. Operation status quo. Ready to engage. Operation status quo. Engaged. Engaged. Hello, there we are. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I can talk without you seeing my face if you prefer that. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Where's Pete? Is Pete really here? Or is it just a recording over an image on the internet? We'll never know. No, you do know. It's me and I'm here. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do some Operation Status Quo. Oh my God, I gotta tell you, that is no way to get started. That is absolutely no way to get started if I want people to watch more than 30 seconds of any of the content that I'm trying to provide. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Operation Status Quo. I am Pete.Palma. I am your user-friendly host, broadcasting live from the comfy confines of my very own home. This indeed is, as I just said, Operation Status Quo. It's the place where we observe the status quo of life. We learn to flow with the status quo of life. And then, of course, most importantly, we learn to create our own flow of quo-yo, because that's the only way to go. So what are you doing out there today to create your own flow of quo? Let me know in the comments below, because remember, if you're not living your own flow of quo, you're living someone else's flow, and that's a definite no-no right here on Operation Status Quo. That's right. And for those of you that are with me on a regular basis, you know this is the place where we try to encourage people to kind of look outside of the box that we're forced to live in all the time and see things in a different way and realize how much power that each and every one of us has within ourselves to create the best life that we want to live. Oh my goodness gracious. Doesn't that just sound so beautiful? It really does. All right. Today is the I can forget the date that quick. Today is the 23rd. Thank you, universe, for giving me that download. It's the 23rd of April in the good year 2025. And today's program, of course, ladies and gentlemen, is entitled Days of Haze. Days of Haze. Hold on. I'm already feeling that I got to cleanse the space a little bit before we get started. Days of Haze. Days of Haze. All right, guys, you know how it is. That's what makes this show so enjoyable, right? Is the quirkiness and my eccentric exhibitionism, I guess. I don't know why I'm trying to say it that way. Eccentric exhibitionism. I don't know if I'm really an exhibitionist because I am clothed. By the way, I got a couple quick stories before I get into today's thing. Well, okay, they're both pool stories. That's because I really wanted to start. Hold on, please. Why am I going so fast? My brain, ladies and gentlemen, runs so far ahead of me, and it makes it very difficult. So this week has been a little bit difficult for me to come on and do a show for whatever reason. I've been, wanting to. Monday, I thought to do it. Tuesday, I wanted to do it. And then, obviously, here I am today on a Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, by the way. How you feeling out there? Ding, da, ding, da, ding, da, ding. That's like how it goes when I'm talking. But anyway, so I said to myself, man, it's Wednesday. I really have to, I haven't been on since last week. I said, I have to get, I'm a man of the people. I love you, the people out there, right? That's why we're here together, just to enjoy some time and to smile and laugh and be silly and talk about life, right? And observe the world and not to take things seriously. So I have to be there for you to be that system of support, the shoulder to cry on, but don't cry too much, because I don't like when my shirt gets all, snotty and wet and stuff, so bring a tissue, but you can still lean on my shoulder at least. All right. But so what was I going to say? So yeah, so I was feeling a little unmotivated. And even today I was like, I was ready to do the show. I was thinking about doing a show and I had a couple kind of, ideas in mind of what I was going to do. And, yeah, so then I wind up, so I got to go for a swim at the pool. I got to do a dipsy doodle at the pool, clear my brain. And, I'll tell you, it worked. Like I'll tell you, like within 10 minutes of me just kind of swimming around the pool, I had this whole, kind of download for where I wanted to go with the show today. And I felt vibrant all of a sudden. And I was like, wow, I'm back. Pete's back. Pete's back. Pete's back. Pete's back in town. Don't mess around when Pete's back in town. Hey-o. Yeah. All right. So the pool's a great place for me. So today's show is called Days of Haze. I'm going to get to that very quickly. But let me give you just two quick pool stories, if you don't mind, ladies and gentlemen. It's like, oh my God. All right. I apologize. I got a text. It's just making me laugh. But anyway. So what was yesterday? So no, not yesterday. So over the weekend, there was a gentleman at the pool that I met. It was he's a relative of somebody who lives in the neighborhood. He's from a different area. I'm not going to give away any information, but he was here visiting his relative. And anyway, so I met this guy and I'm chit chatting with him in the pool. And I meet all the kookadoos. If there's a kookadoo to meet, I'm going to meet him. I'll tell you that. Guy started talking to me and he was telling me about a bar that he owns and stuff, and he was telling me about all these crazy swinger parties they used to have at his bar. Now, I mean, whatever people like to do, I don't give a crap. I'm not against anything, but I'm just laughing because I'm just swimming in the pool, and we're just, I said hello, how you doing? Oh, how you doing? And next thing you know, he's telling me stories about all this swinger stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, like, what? Why are you saying this to me? And then on top of it, like he was, I'm swimming, I kept moving. I don't mind talking while I'm kind of just like, doing little laps around the pool. I'm a talker, so it doesn't bother me. But he was like right up on me, and I laughed at myself. I'm like, man, not only is he like telling me all these crazy swinger stories, but he's like kind of like not giving me much personal space. I go, does he think I'm a swinger? Do I look like some kind of swinger? For God's sake, ladies and gentlemen, tell me, do I look like a swinger? That's what I say. I don't think so. I know. All right, please, everybody, settle down. So, and I just thought that was kind of funny. Like what was funny about it to me is, I meet people, I talk. I mean, I wouldn't start a conversation with someone I just met with, swinger, the swinger stuff. Like I would say hi, maybe talk about your job a little bit. You talk about different things. And then maybe if you think you got a vibe with somebody, you can dig into the swinger stuff. But I wouldn't, advise that as the lead, to a conversation. All right. Oh my gosh. And then today I was swimming at the pool, and I guess this guy's there, and I don't know if it was his wife or whatever that showed up afterwards, and she comes in and she's yelling, where you been? I called you 16 times. And he's like, well, I was here at the pool. She goes, you do this. She goes, you do this every time we have sex. You disappear. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, I mean, like, he's a guy. He's a guy. Of course. He had sex. He wants to go chill out at the pool. I mean, he's kind of good for a few hours. Oh, my gosh. So those are the things that just kind of, that's what we do. This is what Operation Status Quo is all about, right? We're just observing life and we're seeing how ridiculous and silly it is. And that's what's funny about relationships too. Like, because I'm watching these people, and everybody, wants to have their relationship. And I see even the guy, when I talk to these older people sometimes, I can see some of the work they got done. I don't know, whether they got hair plugs, or, the girls with their lips all puffed out with collagen or whatever the frig they do. And, their eyes are tucked back and, everything's like fake. Everybody when they get fake boobs, guys are taking pills to make their dick bigger and harder. It's just like, I don't know. It's like it's kind of funny. Everybody wants to have a relationship, because relationships are really like, love-hate. It's like a love-hate thing. You love to love someone, and you also love to hate the person at the same time. Now, for me personally, I have a love-hate relationship with myself. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, if I could find my applause, yes, I don't need anybody else. I have the perfect love-hate relationship with myself. Hey-o. But I laugh like with these people with all the plastic surgery crap they do as they get older in their 60s and crap, and you're trying to be like this, I'm just like, everybody's worried about dicks and boobs, it's just like, I don't know, I worry about like pot and booze, pot and booze. If you go to pot and booze, then you don't care so much about dicks and boobs. You got your bases covered and you're good to go on your own. Hey-o. I'm just messing around. But anyway, it's just funny to observe. I'm sorry that I'm going on these. I really didn't get into my point yet, but my point is simple, and as it always is. But hang with me, because I want to do just a quick thank you out there before I get into the topic quickly here, ladies and gentlemen. I've just been, doing a lot of stuff on social media. Again, the album's coming out May 2nd. Happy Day is the name of the album. Be released on May 2nd. And, I've been putting a lot of stuff on social media regarding the release of the album and such. So, if you're not with me on Facebook, Instagram, get over there. Check me out. I have everything, a lot of posts up there. So aside from stuff I do here, which I post here and I post there. So, anyway, So what was I going to say about that though? Yeah. So I see growth. It's interesting, this project and what it's been. I'm a man of people. I'm a normal guy. I'm nobody. Just doing what comes natural to me. That's the point of what I want to get to, even with the show today, of encouraging people again to remember that you don't have to answer to anybody else. It's just about you being you. Whatever you're good at, whatever you love. It doesn't just be you and do it right instead of answering to outside parameters. But I do notice some feedback out there, and I definitely want to give a couple thank yous. To my buddy Chris, my RV buddy Chris. Chris, he's always liking my stuff on the social media. I appreciate it so much that you stick with me and you do that. I don't know if you'll hear this because I don't know how much of these episodes you actually watch, but I am thinking of you and saying thank you. And I'm hoping one day, once we make it big with all this, that we'll start an RV convoy and we'll travel across the country and spread good cheer to the people of the former United States. And I also want to thank. Oh my God! I just can't. I can't believe it. I wrote it down. I don't know why and is it Martina? Hold on a second. I got to go back and look. Did I forget her name? From my Austrian fans, I have some beautiful fans from Austria, and I do have to say that this one particular one. Now, Gabby and Marlene, you guys are going to have to catch up because, unfortunately. Where I know she liked this thing, and I just want to see her name. Am I looking in the wrong spot? I'm almost sure it's Martine. Let me go to my. I'm sorry for the delay in this, ladies and gentlemen. Hang on one second. You got to give me a break on this because that's just the way it goes with me sometimes. Hold on here. Let me go back here and then do. Let's see. M-A. Is it M-A-R? Oh, yeah, Martina. I was right, Martina. Martina, you've been very helpful on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, whatever. I just want to thank you so much for following along, following along with the home game. So you tell Gabby and Marlene that they have to catch up because they're falling behind. They were the top fans in Austria, but you're overtaking them, and you let them know they got to get their act together. You tell them. All right. And now I've gone on for a bit, so if we have time, I might do a Toast to Drost update. For those of you who don't know, Mark Drost, you can follow him on Facebook. His information is public, but he is a yoga guru who is vehemently opposed to our current way of life in the United States and is working hard to save our freedoms. Of course, he's doing that from Amsterdam. He's safe and sound over in Amsterdam, pounding his fist about what we should do here in America to save our country from the evils that are currently plaguing it, ladies and gentlemen. So, but he's always making wonderful posts on social media. So we'll get to that at the end. We'll do a real quick toast to Drost. Okay, so 13 minutes. Damn, 13 minutes to get to Days of Haze. It's like, I don't know. I guess that's what happens if I don't come on. See, I don't come on for like 8 days. I get all pent up, and then I want to say something. I'm not sure what I want to say. Then all of a sudden, I feel like I want to talk, and then it just goes goes in a million directions everywhere. Now, I was doing my thank yous, and I wanted to thank my friend RC3 as well because he's always very supportive to my channel. But of course, he tells me, let me know when you're going on. I want to be when you're live. Today, is it today? Is it tomorrow? Is it today? So, now I tell him that I'm going on. And what's he texts me back. He goes, oh, no, I'm busy. I don't know, RC3. I don't know what we're doing here, my friend. Are you in or are you out? Hey-o. The funny thing is, I never bother him a lot of times because, I never know when I'm going to go on. He's got a life and a schedule, so I don't want to make him feel obligated that he has to watch. He can always obviously go back and watch it whenever. But I do it because he tells me, when you're ready, you tell me. I want to be there. I want to be there when it's live. I go, okay. And I go, where is he? No, but seriously, RC3, I appreciate everything. We have lots of conversations about content and everything that's going on. And, I appreciate all your input and your support is more than appreciated. So have fun with what you're doing today. I hope the Phillies pull a game out of this series. All right. So anyway, where the hell was I? Okay. Yeah. So Days of Haze. Thank you. Basically, what I just kind of wanted to mention today and reiterate, because what we talk about here on Operation Status Quo, right? We're always trying to look at the world for, through the guise of, what we're shown to believe the world is, okay? And I really kind of wanted to start this because I was watching, obviously, the stock market the last couple of days. It dropped, a lot, and then it shot back up 1,000 points. And this morning it was up like over 1,000 something points, and it's only up like 300, so it's back down again. Gold is up some crazy amount. Anyway, the reason I'm saying this is because I think why we're seeing so much dysfunction. Again, I know I've said this, but we're seeing. I wouldn't say I think why we are seeing so much dysfunction in our current systems, because the matrix, the cracks are showing through in what has been created to keep us suppressed and away from our higher consciousness and away from our better way of thinking or being in touch with our true selves, right? So as things are collapsing, it's what I'm saying, and why I'm using the economy as an example, is because people, you're taught your whole life of what this system is. This is where you grow up, you're going to go to school, you're going to have a job, you invest your money here. This is how you buy a house. This is how you do this. This is how you get educated. This is how you see the doctor every 5,000 miles. Well, it used to be 3,000, but every 5,000 miles you get an oil change, on your car, right? Everything's in these and it's just and we live our whole life that way without ever even considering that there's a whole nother way that we could live if we chose to do so, right? People are just like, no, this is the way it is. No, this is what you do. You get your oil changed every 3,000 miles. No, this is what you do. You rotate your tires every 10,000 miles. Once you finish school, high school, you either go to a vocational school or you go to college. You either become a laborer or you become a white collar worker, right? I mean, it's just like all these type of dynamics and parameters that are always kind of set. And I call this show Days of Haze because I see how people seem obviously they're confused of what's going on and concerned of the way the world is showing itself today, leaving people to feel that they don't have a sense of security of where do I build from? Where do I plant my flag? Where do I build the foundation of what my life is on a daily basis? How am I moving forward when the ground underneath me seems to be crumbling all the time and shifting? And again, to go back to why I'm saying the economy, because we're taught so much to invest. I'm using that as just one example, one point of everything I'm saying. But we're taught to put all you're good if you invest all your money in the stock market or whatever, right? Because it's always going to make a certain amount of gain or this, that, or the other, and blah 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 blah. But the truth is, when I look back and think about how much money I was putting into a 401k type thing, and I look back, and if I would have during those years taken that same amount of money I've been buying gold during that time, I would be pretty set right now. So it's just interesting. We're never taught of. I wish I would have known more about that type of thing back then. If I would have allocated, I wouldn't have tried to accumulate more dollars to hold on to for a longer period of time. I would have taken the dollars I had and transferred them into something more valuable over the long haul. But I never really thought of it that way. Just work your job, especially because I worked for the government. You just work your job, put your money in, and one day you retire, they're going to give you a check. And again, using the economy because, money always makes people, that's the way to get people's attention, right? If something's going on with the money. But I think, because if you see the market going crazy, it goes up, it goes down, it's going all over the place, right? So, it makes people feel uncertain of how do I invest in this market at this time? What do I do? Right? So, but what I'm trying to say is everything is showing itself as not reliable. So I'm using the economy as an example, but all this stuff is coming out too about COVID and, truth about the jabs. And, I know there's still people out there who are lined up. They can't wait to, get stuck with some poison, but whatever, that's their choice. But either way, the information's coming out, which makes people realize, and they start learning about, well, what's our medical system really like? What's it really about? Why are the pharmaceutical companies so entrenched in all this? Or, why are we not healing? Why are we just treating symptoms with, multitudes of drugs that, kill you in 6 other ways? So I know a guy that had a serious operation. Well, I'll just say he had a lung transplant, he was telling me years ago. And we were having a conversation one time. He was telling me about the lung transplant. And he says, he takes 3 medications for the lung transplant so that the body doesn't reject it. And then from that, he takes an additional 7 medications to offset the side effects of the 3 medications for the lungs. And I'm just trying to say, isn't that crazy? if you're I don't even want to, I don't mean this in a critical way towards the individual or any individual that's going through something like that. I just trying to say, but think about all these chemicals. I know, what am I supposed to do? I needed a liver, I needed a kidney, I needed I needed lungs. I'm going to be dead without lungs, right? So I mean, I get it, but I still feel there's another way that we can do it that is not, basically poisoning. It's like butchery. You cut out somebody else's lungs, and we probably have the technology to grow your own lungs back with your DNA. I'm sure it could be done. So, we're just never taught these parameters. And I think what's going on in the world today is showing the instability, because I think the crux of everything I'm trying to say is that we're seeing so much instability in all the structures, whether it be our medical structure. How many people are home educating now? Now the Pope died. Let's see what goes on with the church. So hey, not to get but it's just another pedophile down, baby. All right, so I don't know. I don't want to get into it. I'm not going conspiracy. I'm not talking about all the tunnels in the Vatican and what they do to the kids. Hey-o. So, but anyway, so we'll see, all the structures that people believed in and trusted and looked at as the hierarchy of support and structure in our world are all kind of crumbling in different ways. And it's again, because we are all one consciousness, one humanity. So it's pushing people, our one consciousness is growing beyond the confines of the 3D paradigm that we're currently enveloped within. So we're being pushed, to get out of that. We're being pushed to say, oh my gosh, I can't depend on these structures. I can't depend on the economy. I can't depend on the education system. I can't depend on the current structure of our medical system. What do I do? What do I do? Right? So I look. It's not fearful to me in my mind. It's not. It's encouraging, right? It's encouraging people to look within and to realize how much power they have to build communities locally and such, to understand how to work with the land, grow food. I'm no expert on any of these things. I'm just talking about this is what I see us heading to. I'm very open to work with people who do know more. Like I do know more about these things. And somebody who's really great at growing food or building a house or something, I'm happy to learn and work with people and help out. I'm just trying to say, but if we all start to focus in that regard instead of looking outward towards the system. And to speak one more thing, there's a neighbor of mine who worked for the federal government, and he's telling me, how they're basically going to be letting, people go, and now they have that second offer. A lot of these people who worked multiple years are trying to get their last couple years in so they can get their retirement. It's just funny. Like, you give your whole life away to get a retirement. It's the same thing with the stock market. They can take it all away from you. Like, what if they decide that what if the country goes bankrupt and there is not pensions anymore? I'm just saying, right? And the economy crashes, and all those years you worked and everything you put into that stock market, and they decide, F it, we're going to crash the economy and do something else. And then everything you worked for, all that time you put in, was for nothing. I won't say it's for nothing, but you know what I mean, right? You don't get what you deserve out of it. They're not looking for your best interest on the other end, that, so-and-so worked his whole life and gave all this, and now we decide to flip the script, so you're shit out of luck. It's like, well, shit, I'm 60-something years old, and I worked all those years. I'm ready to retire, and now you're telling me, it's all gone. It's like, yeah, sorry about that. It's like, and that's kind of like what's going on. I have another friend that was working a job, which he didn't really care for, but it was, it was bringing in some money, and then they decided to, let him go. Because everybody worries about getting another job and stuff, right? And I just say, like, to me, these are opportunities of freedom. These are opportunities to say, I'm tired of worrying about, I got to answer to you. I got this job. I worked. I tried to do my best to show. And then you decide one day that I don't meet a certain quota well enough or something. And you just, like, I have no value. Now I have no value because I don't equate correctly on your analytics on your spreadsheet. Like, I'm just a piece of shit worth nothing, right? So, like, why we give ourselves away to all that when we have everything within ourselves to create ourselves? I mean, that's like everything I'm doing with the music and all this stuff. Like, I'm just trying to use what I think are my best skills and abilities in this life, to reach people, to help people, to be of service, to bring joy. I don't know. I don't think about, like, how much money am I going to make, or I don't think about anything. I think about, like, the universe. If you're doing what your heart is intended to do, the universe provides what you need. And it doesn't mean, it's not about being famous. It's not about being rich. I mean, for anybody, for anything that you want to do, whatever your heart says, whatever is you, just go be it. It's not about what accolades you get from it or what status or what perception of others. It's about just being. If you're being and you're being, then it'll come to you. You don't have to go get anything. And that's the thing. The outside world and everything we've been dealing with for all this time, everything's out there and you have to go get it. And you have to keep up with it. And you have to go get it. And you have to keep up with it. And then they take it away. And then they change the rules. And then you got to go get it. And then you got to keep up with it. Right? You don't have to do that. It's like, I was like, F you. I'm going to choose what's within my heart. I'm going to do what my sole purpose is. I'm going to quiet myself. I'm going to go inward. I'm going to follow the journey. And I know that I'm here for a reason. I know I'm supported, and everything will be taken care of if I let it be taken care of instead of me trying to force it. So Days of Haze, because I know everybody's confused and upset out there, but I will say, ladies and gentlemen, that I do believe good things are coming. I mean, it is what you believe. I see good things all around. I feel the best. I feel the best I've felt in years. It's like, COVID happened and either you went, down with the ship or, you exploded upwards to create something new because you realized it was all a sham, So I don't know. That's just how I feel about everything. And, I just kind of go through my day and I just live. I don't ask for much. I just kind of be and let things happen. Take the pressure off yourselves. Take the pressure off yourselves. Don't worry about what you're seeing. Stop watching the news. Forget about the stupid stock market and the wars and all the bullshit that they're talking about all the time and what asteroids coming and everything else and global warming and boo, 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 and ba, 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 la, la, la. Nobody, they're not supporting you. The system's obviously not trying to support you. They're just trying to keep you in fear and keep you down and keep you confused. So everything's breaking away and breaking apart so people can start to realize they cannot adhere to these structures anymore, and we must create something going forward. And just to end it with what I was talking about, human consciousness, human consciousness has decided collectively beyond our physical awareness individually that we're moving forward in another direction. So, that's just what's happening. And that's why if it wasn't the case, we wouldn't be seeing the system falling apart the way it is. It's falling apart because it's a choice by the higher consciousness stuff, the higher oneness of the totality of all that we are and what we're creating here for the experiences that need be. So, I don't know. It's pretty simple to me. It's pretty simple to me. I don't know. And everybody else wants to toil in the system. Toil. Boy, toil in trouble. Hey-o. Is that how it goes? All right, so let me, that was good, right? That's what I think. I just want to encourage you guys. That's what we do on Operation Status Quo. We have to just realize that, they're making fools of us, the system. We don't have to do it. We can do it our way, by our terms. We have the power. We're the people, right? Each of us have the power to do whatever you want. All right, now, since I said it, I'm going a little long, but I'm going to do just a quick toast to Drost update. So let me go back to Facebook. I got to come up with a little song. Toast to Drost. A toast to Drost. Who's that guy you like the most? Hey, it's our buddy, Mr. Mark Drost. Mr. Mark Drost. Let's see here. Let's see. So, Mark likes to, again, Mark is safe and sound in Amsterdam, so don't worry. But he knows America's collapsing and he wants to save America. So he's very adamant on Facebook to tell other people what to do. What was the one that I commented on? Yeah, he said this. He said we need lawsuits, mass rallies, strikes, work slowdowns, boycotts, and other forms of non-cooperation and resistance. Woo, Mark. So I don't comment on many of them, but I did comment on that one. I said, Mark, I said, maybe you can organize that while you're vacationing in Amsterdam. America needs its hero. It needs Mark Drost. Godspeed, my friend. He didn't respond to that one. Good for him. Mark, don't respond to me. I'm busting your balls, and I don't deserve the courtesy of a response for that. He also said, this will end when they are confronted by some movement that possesses rival power. Let's see here. He's waiting. He's been talking about Trump maybe being assassinated. Where's the one he talked about? Oh, a lot of people are saying assassination. Others are saying impeachment or the 25th Amendment. So, he's asking people out there, what do you think? What do you think's the best option? Should it be the 25th Amendment? Should we impeach him? Or should we just kill him? And this is so funny, like just coming from, again, because, he's supposed to be teaching yoga, which is so funny to me that, of course he believes in this crap and looks at stuff in such a surface level view, and then has so much attachment to disliking Trump, which is just hilarious to me because it's all a show and they're all characters. Hey, let me tell you, Mark, in case you're not aware, Biden and Trump and Obama and the Clintons and Kamala and Putin and Xi Jinping and what's the other dude from Israel? They're all like hanging out somewhere. They're probably all like at a Hooters somewhere, having wings and beer, giving each other high fives, going, laughing like, oh, you see how many people got pissed off when you said, oh, Donald, hey Donald, when you said you're not getting the guy back from El Salvador. Oh my God, didn't that piss him off? And then, oh yeah, hey Obama, I loved when you did that Obamacare. Remember how that pissed people off? I don't know. They're all high fiving each other over that kind of shit. Let's see. He's kind of going with the arrest. What you say? What is your guess on how this ends? Could we see an arrest? Yeah, we're going to see an arrest, but it's not going to be who you think it is. It's like, oh man, I just, again, and I'm only bringing it up too because it's, we have to let go of that mainstream narrative. We have to stop giving our time and attention to this stuff. Mark, you care so much. You're such an asset to humanity, as each and every one of us are. You do your thing, man. Help the people around you. Go spread positive joy around instead of kind of doing. You're doing like online gambling. Will we do the 25th Amendment as assassination, or we just impeach him? Let's say, take your bets. Take your bets. Place your bets. All right. Anyway, that's it. I went long today, ladies and gentlemen. So, but I appreciate you being here. I love you guys out there, as you well know. I'm going to do another show because, again, the album's coming out May 2nd. So I'm going to do a little show about that before, or probably right around that time. So next week, I'll do a little behind the scenes and talk about everything with that as the album is going to be released. So I look forward to you guys. And the music will be on all your favorite music streaming platforms. So wherever you go, Apple, Spotify, or whatever, go over there and you can look me up and you'll be able to find it. Of course, my website, pete.palma.com. Play along with the home game and have fun. All right. So that's about it. That's what I got for you here today. Thank you guys. I love you guys out there. Be strong, stay positive and just keep doing your thing and don't let the outside world, intimidate you in any way whatsoever, because, that's what it's meant to do. And the reason why we're seeing all the cracks show through now is because it's fading away and it's time for you to go be you. All right. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, as you very well know, I love each and every one of you out there individually as well as a group. If you haven't done so already, please take the time to like, subscribe, share, send this out to your friends, your family, those you love, and of course, those, most importantly, those you despise as well. God bless each and every one of you out there. Until next time, Operation Status Quo disengaged.